Hello, and welcome to the Going Beyond Averages webinar, the third event of this year's Tour to Data series. I'm sure many of you already receive monthly or weekly STR reports and are familiar with the averages of data. This is a highly effective way of managing revenue and tracking performance, but sometimes the numbers leave us with more questions than answers. We realize that using the same data, but organizing and presenting it differently, can help answer those questions and give you a distinct competitive edge. My name is Caitlin Hilliard. I will be a presenter today and am the Business Intelligence Manager here at STR Analytics. I recently co-authored a comprehensive analysis of over 30,000 U.S. comp sets called the U.S. Comp Set Study. If you have any questions during this webinar, please email me at caitlin@stranalytics.com and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Before we jump into today's topic, I would like you to know that this presentation is currently available on hotelnewsnow.com. You can find it on hotelnewsnow.com using the keywords Tour to Data Beyond Averages. I know everyone here is familiar with STR, but I wanted to share with you the STR Family of Companies, which specializes in everything from travel and tourism, global expertise, breaking news in the hotel industry, and of course STR Analytics, which is based out here in sunny Boulder, Colorado. We are very much the research and development branch of STR, and you might already recognize some of our products, such as the DataCast, MComp, and our interactive dashboards. Today we're going to briefly discuss questions you have probably asked about your STR report. Questions like, what exactly does a comp set occupancy average of 47% mean? Then we're going to go beyond averages and what impact it has when you can use these new metrics to optimize revenue strategies on a more granular basis with confidence. I understand many of you have never seen these reports I'm about to go over, so at the end of the webinar, I will explain how to get a free sample of each report for your hotel. Here's a familiar scene, a snapshot from a STR report. Right away, you see that on April 10th, your property achieved an occupancy of 71.7%, well above the average for your comp set of about 48%. Clearly on this day, your hotel ranked first of 7. While this provides you a lot of valuable information, you might be left wondering what the deviation from that 48% average is. Is it the average from a wide range or a narrow range of occupancy? To illustrate how to see just that using the same data while maintaining anonymity for all properties, let's compare the same day from the STR report to the same day of a bandwidth report. Right away, you see that the range of this comp set on April 10th performed between 37 and 60% occupancy. Now you are equipped with a more robust picture of what happened that day within your comp set. Complementing your STR report with this new data, you already have 2 instantly recognizable facts about one day. First, you know how far away from you the second ranked performer was. In this case, there was about a 12 percentage point separation. Second, you have a much better idea of the deviation from the comp set's average. The bandwidth report shows you much more than that, though. There are 4 main elements to this brand new monthly report. Most recognizable are the gray bands representing your competitive sets high and low, and the green, blue, and orange lines representing the subject properties' ADR, occupancy, and RevPAR performance. Second are the roll-ups. The roll-ups illustrate a hypothetical for your property. If your property had been the laggard every single day of the month, that figure is rolled up into the minimum light gray bar. The dark gray bar illustrates had your property been the daily leader every single day of the month. They are essentially averages of everything along the very bottom and the very top of the gray bands. Third, we have included the daily ranking to add perspective. Let's look at the first day of the month. Your property is ranked 3 of 9, but from the band, you see that the top 3 performers were within a tight $5 margin of each other, instead of the top third $15 or so of the top of the band for that day. Finally, using the same data, you can monetize your progress. The potential revenue gain represents everything potentially left on the table that month. To relate it to the band, it is everything in the gray band above your property. The potential revenue loss is everything that you potentially took away from your comp set. It adds a monetary value to everything in the gray band below your property. For those seeking to get more granular and differentiate between their group and transient guests, bandwidth can include daily segmentation analysis. If you don't already submit segmentation data, or your comp set doesn't, we are happy to get you set up and work to get segmentation sufficiency within your set. Simply email info@str.com. Again, the prominent visuals allow you to instantly spot the transient and group demand cycles and how they relate to each other, and to overall RevPAR. In order to spot trends and track goals over time, the bandwidth report displays this year's and last year's data for the same month to get a day-to-day and date-to-date picture. In this example for Tuesday the 12th, this year's occupancy band is tighter. Now everyone is playing in the same demand region of about 82 to 92%, while last year's occupancy band ranged from 37 to 87%. The cycle shows for this property and comp set that year over year, Sunday proves to be a tough day. Everyone is dipping that day. You now see an opportunity to work on an occupancy strategy to try to do something different. The bands can also tell you a lot of valuable information about your competitive set. A thick occupancy band and a thin ADR band indicate there is a significant difference in product. Everyone's playing in this small rate band, but a very large spread in occupancy. Therefore, your customer is telling you your product is different. Even though you're playing the same rate game, you're not playing the same demand game. And vice versa. Everyone here pretty much sold out at the same time, but at very different rates. This raises the question, is this set really competitive? If this is the case in your bandwidth report, the team here at STR Analytics can assist you with customized comp set analysis to ensure you have the strongest comp set for your property. Your performance is now quantifiable, showing money potentially left on the table. And understandably, many are afraid to present this to their owners, thinking they'll say, "What do you mean you could have gained $155,000? But with this one element of the bandwidth report, you can confidently answer, "But I made you over $382,000. Yes, we could have made a possible $155,000 more, but that's assuming we were the price leader every single day of the month." Don't take the gain and loss figures for straight value, but as a relative tool. Use it correctly, especially during budgeting season. Last year, the hotel had 42% of total revenue to gain. Another way of stating, you potentially left 42% of total revenue within your comp set on the table. This year, you only had 16% of total revenue to gain. That's great growth. That means you left less money on the table this year than you did last year. In fact, you improved by 26 points. That's last year's 42% minus this year's 16%. Remember, not every hotel should have the goal to be at 100% of revenue. But keeping tabs in this calculation will help make sure you are not losing ground and staying within the same range. The RevPAR Positioning Matrix, or RPM report, is also highly visual, cutting down the time it takes to analyze your property's performance and positioning strategies. It also compares year over year on a monthly and rolling 3-month basis. RPM highlights positioning relative to ADR and occupancy, and then labels each hotel by their RevPAR ranking for the month. ADR along the left axis increases upwards, and occupancy along the bottom increases to the right. The orange subject property is targeted by thin crosshairs, breaking the grid into 4 main quadrants. So within seconds, you know how many properties performed above or below you in both ADR and occupancy, and how it affected their overall RevPAR ranking. In this example, the subject property ranked 7 of 7 in RevPAR, and the leader just happened to be higher in both ADR and occupancy for the month. You'll notice a gap between 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Customers looking to make reservations are having to make a choice between a group of hotels with a similarly higher ADR and a group of hotels with a similarly lower ADR. The gap reveals an opportunity to position your hotel apart from your competitors, to fill a position which might be desirable to potential customers. Together, these reports strongly complement the averages you get in your STAR report. Beyond that, they can indicate the strength of your comp set. In this example, we see a vertical alignment of the properties in the RPM, showing that the hotels were filling up to about the same level, but at very different price points. The bandwidth report reiterates this by showing a narrow occupancy band and a very wide ADR band. After undergoing comp set analysis and advisory, this same subject property now has a new comp set. Let's take a look. So here, with the new comp set, the RPM now shows a horizontal alignment. No, this is not necessarily more desirable than a vertical alignment, but what is important and what you should focus on is the deviation. The bands are much narrower than with the previous comp set, indicating a more similar performance cycle and tighter margin of competition. So are you now ready to go beyond averages? To recap, the benefits of going beyond averages include seeing highs and lows, RevPAR positioning, insight into your comp set, previously unseen opportunities, and a competitive advantage. As promised, I am happy to send you a free sample of each report. Please simply email your property's STR number to concierge@stranalytics.com, and I will send you links to video tutorials and pricing information as well. The U.S. Comp Set study is full of interesting facts about the makeup of U.S. comp sets, as well as information about how to choose a good comp set. If you would like to order the study or learn more about STR Analytics' comp set suite of products and services, please email concierge@stranalytics.com. Thank you for joining Tour de Data. For a schedule of events and to learn more about registering for any of the remaining free webinars and live events this year, please visit tourdedata.com.